Hey everybody, this is Peter Palmiotti of Human Art Studio, and this is episode 104 of Making Comics and Art. So I hope you got your tools ready and you'll be working along with me. I realize my camera is super close up. I'll change that in a moment. Um, but yeah, man, so much is going on. Okay, first of all, I did the video where I said I wanted to stream every day, and I was intending to stream last night, but the cats took over my home, so it was out of my control. Yeah, just one of those nights, and now I have 5 cats, so that's a trip. Just so you know, I'm working on my own comic creation called Retro. This is issue 1. It's penciled by Rich Fisher. I'll be the penciler from issue 2 on. But I created him. I'm writing the book, inking the book, and I'll be coloring next once we get past past the inking stage. But yeah, let me address Salazar Art Nation stopped by and said, "Don't stop." The title of the episode is "Never Gonna Stop." He said, Tarako Creative Cast said, "You can do it." And Captain Courage said, "I believe in you, Peter." And I was, "Oh, thanks, Frank. I won't. Never." And he says, "I have to run an errand really quick, but I'll be back." And that was the last comment I saw previously. It was like, if you end with "ack," that sounds like somebody choking you. But he said, "I will. Just about to have, but I'll be back 15, 20 minutes." Okay. All that jazz. So, normally I promote it better, like when I'm doing a stream, and I did post it around a bit, but I didn't do my full spectrum of posting it more places, because, yeah, I got a lot going on. Oh, I did want to mention, I had Todd Rayner on my show not too long ago. You could check out past episodes where he was talking about his project Ice Pick. Now he's a creator who does everything. Totally envious and I don't know what was I thinking. I just love creators who do everything, and I'm going to be doing a print with him. He showed me some preliminary pencils he's done that I'll be inking, and looking forward to that. He's a good guy. Just one of the small independent guys doing his own book, doing it exactly the way he wants, and yeah. So his project got funded, and now he's working on the next part. Finishing the book off, and then all that jazz. But I wanted to mention the other day when I had Shelby Robinson on. And now there's a conversation I was looking forward to having and it was fine. It was fine. It was great to talk to Shelby. Excellent, excellent. I love his freaking art. He was part of the whole image scene. Did work for a bunch of the people there. He was talking about working for Rob Liefeld, and even on a recent book. But freaking love his work. He's a creator. He's always posting new artwork he's doing, and now he's into that full swing, creating his own book and characters. I picked up his book. I want to smack myself if I get it wrong, but Demon Witch? It's Witch something. So apologies if I got that wrong. I picked that up, and I want to eventually get his 94 book, which is very much him doing a sort of 90s comic now, and his current Indiegogo is pretty much an offshoot of that. But I apologize because my internet, or at least I thought it was my internet, was really crapping out to the point of letting him do the show while I tried to fix it and even rebooted, and it was eventually better. But that alone took me off my game. I mean, you could tell when I'm really like on top of the conversation and really like having a great conversation with somebody who shows up. But it was also that and a combination of my friend Randy Bishop was here, and he wasn't here for the whole time. He was here maybe 30, 40 minutes. But Randy was, he's Army Reserve, and he's up at Fort Knox for a brief while, and he had an opportunity to meet up with me, and I told him I couldn't do, like he wanted to meet in the evening and yada yada. Couldn't do that. So he said, what if I just swing by myself? Like we were initially going to meet halfway. But so he was here, and we got to talk briefly before I went live. I already set up my conversation with Shelby and thought it best just to go through with it, because Shelby's a busy guy. He does his own streams, which I follow along when I can, and he's on other streams. I think I saw him on Dan Fragger's show not too long ago, and he speaks of that. But it's funny. I got an email from StreamYard. I use StreamYard to do these, obviously, with the logo on the screen, saying that people were complaining about not being able to get onto StreamYard or onto YouTube the previous night, meaning the night that I was on with Shelby, and problem should be fixed, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, well, it wasn't my crappy internet, although that was probably, contributed to it. It was also just StreamYard having some issues, which, like really StreamYard has been an excellent program, utensil, whatever you want to call it, utility. So, for all the times it does work, I really can't complain. It was just bad timing on a conversation I was really hoping to get more nitty gritty about. And Shelby's an awesome guy, so I'm sure we'll have another opportunity to talk. And it's kind of funny, like me and him parallel working in the industry at the same time, and he was West Coast and I was East Coast. Um, so I know like there's great conversation to be had with him. So maybe I can make that happen again. As it is, I have a list of people who want to come on. I don't want to make every episode conversation with somebody else, but I do want to have more people on than I have had. But scheduling with my schedule that changes from day to day is a little difficult. So I'll get people on as I can. I know I got to get in touch with a number of them right now, and yeah, got to get more organized. But yeah, so it was great that Shelby showed up and hung out, and we had the best conversation we could. And go check out his book on Indiegogo. You'll be pleasantly surprised. Yeah, and I've been following Shelby for a long time. Oh, I was the other thing. I was trying to think of a book, actually the company name, pretty early on when I was talking to Shelby, and was blanking because uh, I don't necessarily do research or get things in order before I go live. But I wanted to bring it up, and then I failed to remember what the company name was. So it goes. But I have since done some research. So the company name was a company that's still around. I don't know if it's the same people running it or what have you. I never actually worked with them, but I did a book called Java back in the day, which was the only thing I could remember. And that was with a friend of mine, Kensuke Okibayashi. Say that 20 times fast. Trust me, it took me a while to get a hang of his name. But Ken's a adorable little guy. Incredible talent. I think he did how to make manga comics for dummies. I know he did one of the dummy books. I think that's the title of it. So go look that up. Ken's a great guy, and Java was a fun experience, even if it I honestly don't know if how well it did, but there's copies around everywhere. So anyway, so at the time Java was coming out, another book called Neon Dawn came out, and I could have sworn that was a book that Shelby worked on. So he was the artist, maybe even more. And I grabbed a copy of, I don't know, issue 2 cover and say, hey, did you work on this book? And he's like, not that I remember. That wasn't his exact words, but oh, I never seen that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to research it more, but I could have sworn, and much like I can't remember everything I've worked on, hence all my, like, a lot of my recent posts on Instagram is like, wow, I worked on that. Wow, I worked on that. Wow, that was cool. Wow, I did good work on that. Um, yeah, I'll have to see if he actually worked on the book or if it was just maybe cover work or something, if at all. But Dawn was a book I really liked. So if it wasn't him, I want to research who did actually did the work. Um, so that would be fun. Boom, boom, boom. That's okay. Okay. A little more black. Rich kind of made Retro's hair kind of like thick and a lot of hair, but not necessarily as dark as I would have wanted it. I really didn't guide him as he churned out pages. I might have mentioned some comments, like he sent me thumbnails before he did finish pages. So some things I insisted on, I remember talking to him about, but mostly I let him do his magic. Um, but yeah, so Dawn was the book, and the company was Committed Comics, and that's where Java was published. And that was a fun experience. I've said it before. Java was Ken trying to get a book not published but distributed through um, Starbucks. There's so many Starbucks around. It would be a great thing to get a comic on all their countertops. But they thought it was a neat idea, but they didn't think it would work, or didn't want to do it. If you go to Starbucks, they have like music. They have DVDs and stuff, and it's like, well, you do DVDs, do comics. That would be awesome, especially a book called Java. That's with your brand, but they didn't go for it. So another awesome idea crashed across the shores. So what else is going on? There's so much going on. So tomorrow, I currently have 5 cats. There's a little kitten I got not too long ago. I was running in the streets that I was like, I'm taking you in. You don't have a home. It appears. I asked my neighbors. Nobody knew. Or said, they start running around down the hill, which is down my block. So I took it in so this little girl kitten could have a safe home. And she's not too much trouble. She's she's a little piranha when you play with her, but she's so tiny. It's like Nibbles. She's so freaking adorable. I call it Panda Bear. Originally, I was going to name her Panda, but Panda Bear sounds more fitting to her extreme cuteness. And yeah, so she's an addition. And like, I could eventually find a home for her, but I kind of don't want to part with her, even though it's an additional effort in my life and style and all that. But on top of that, a cat I did take in to see if she would either take here or find a home for her, another girl cat called Molly, reappeared. So this is all information if you haven't watched recent episodes, but so Molly and Panda are going to get fixed tomorrow, and it usually means they're gone for at least one night. So tomorrow night I'll only have 3 cats, which seems like a miracle under current conditions. So, fingers crossed that all goes well and get them back. And, I've had other cats fixed, and you know how they say, like, once a cat is fixed, it's a little calmer. I guess that's the case. I haven't noticed drastic changes in cats once they get fixed, but a little bit. There's definitely, like, right after. I won't have them right after their operations, I don't think, because they'll be out in the farm or at the vet overnight. I forget, but yeah, a little bit less wild would be okay. Panda bear, she's so tiny. It's not so bad. Molly, it's so strange. She was here for exactly like 3 days. She disappeared for a month, and I could count the days, but it's approximately a month. Now she's back, and it's like I'm her best friend. Something strange about that. She's like my shadow now, which I don't mind. She's really a good cat. I would like her to get along better with the other cats, and there's been some progress. These things take time. For Molly to realize that, hey, all these other cats that are randomly around are my friends too, so you better be cool. So yeah, but it's going well. Another thing, let me show you. This is something I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to let me move that. I'm going to do pieces like this. So this is 9 by 6. Is that right? That's definitely 9. That can't be 6. Oh, whatever the size. I'm going to be doing pieces like this, but I'm going to do marble characters. If you haven't guessed, this is Clint Eastwood. And you can see some of the... Well, it's not really coming crystal clear, but some of the detail I put into that. This was fun. I didn't think I'd be as effective with the cross hatching and stuff, but it's not as clean. It's kind of flying around and adding hatching and cross hatching, and a lot of it works. A lot of it could be, directed a little better, but I like the way it came out. Anyway, Clint Eastwood. I'm going to be doing Marvel characters, and if you're a Patreon, you'll get to see all that first. So please become a patron at patreon.com/Peter Palmiotti. $1, $5, $10, different levels. Everybody sees everything $5 and up. I select what's available at the $1 range. But yeah, me doing art there will be for everybody. So, I I do want to get around to doing a webcomic there. Not a webcomic, it's just a comic. But I'm too busy at the moment to be focused on that. So, Peter, what else is going on? Well, so I mentioned also recently that I was sort of prepping because I'll be streaming more. Was me prepping to do a challenge. And I was mentioning, now I feel like I'm going to sneeze, that I was considering doing the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge. Well, I talked to a friend of mine, and they advised against that simply because, they were saying, why don't you create something of your very own? Something that you could just say, hey, I came up with this idea to do it in this fashion. And it's basically my idea, yada, yada. Like there's tons of people that do Inktober, but it's not exactly Inktober. They Halloween-tober or like there's 50 different names now. But it's essentially Inktober. So I have an idea, and I'm still playing with it to further define it, but it will essentially be 100 Days of Making Comics, but it won't be as long. And it will be the same results. I'll be doing videos, streams every day, and working on this comic, which I pretty much do now, but with a sort of goal in mind. So that is what you can expect coming up on my channel. Details forthcoming. So yeah, I'm gonna head out after this stream, go help my friend out. She'll, along with my 2 cats, she'll be taking one of her cats to be fixed. Except that was one of the cats I had here briefly. It's a cat called Dottie, and myself and Lisa were essentially socializing her, which we have definitely accomplished. Dottie was part of a group of kittens. Unfortunately, only her and her brother survived. I think there were 5 kittens all at one time. The others didn't make it. That's what happens with when mama cats have lots of babies. Uh, Chances are, in a lot of cases, that most of them don't survive. Um, but her brother is definitely doing well. He's uh, got some weight on him, and he's at the farm, and he's much bigger. Dottie's a little thing. She definitely needs special care because Lisa was trying to feed her more. It doesn't seem to be having an effect. So I'm gonna let the sanctuary know so that we can make sure she gets extra food, special food. So she can put on some weight and have a better chance of survival. Because even though she's been around a long time now, she could still not make it. Most kittens that don't make it die very, very young, like weeks. But she's been around for months. But we want to improve her chances. So, and she's a little cutie. She likes to pace and jump around and have fun and play with other cats. So we want good things for her. And as far as when Randy was here, he dropped off something I don't have, which is I'm working on issue 7 of his book, which is Hawk of New York. Time Bound Entertainment is his comic company name. And so, I'm working on issue 7. I have issue 6 because, he got me copies when it was printed. So I've had that. I read that. But I never had the issues before it. So he brought me 1 through 5, as well as some other special Hawk and New York related stuff. Some albums he made, like mini album. Some very cool stuff. Some stickers. So I still have copies of Hawk and New York number 6. So if you're interested, I didn't ink him in the issue, but I inked another talented guy. Dang it. What's his name? Rogers. Mitch Rogers. Mitch Rogers is I believe he's a UK artist. UK? Why does that sound weird? He's from England or somewhere around there. So Randy brought me that, and he brought me. Actually, he brought for me to sign some copies of Ash. And you'll be asking, why did you sign copies of Ash? Isn't that a creation of Jimmy Palmiotti and Joe Quesada? Well, it is, but in the Zero issue, hey, Sideburns, otherwise known as Dan. Hello, welcome. In the Zero issue of Ash, uh, Jim Calafiore and myself did a pinup of Ash. So he had a couple of copies, and I signed actually on a pinup. I signed the pinup. But he also, what was the other thing? Maybe I don't have anything else. I forget now. It's a pile off to the side. There's stuff I have to read for a guest coming up, so it's kind of nothing else of reading material at the moment. But yeah, he gave me a pile of stuff, which definitely appreciate, and look forward to reading all of his book, Hawk of New York, which I wasn't even aware that he had other people contribute. I thought it was all him previously, but okay, we could rest now. Salazar has returned. Thank goodness. There was an imbalance in the universe. Hope you're not out of breath returning so quickly. But yeah, I guess there's nothing else I wanted to mention about that other than, oh, he did show me some more pencils he's doing for issue 7. I think I have the first 5 or 7, something like that. So he showed me some of the pages he's working on in his free time while he's doing army stuff. So that was cool. But yeah, the long and short of it is his visit was rushed. So we'll definitely make plans to do another visit. And more than likely, I will go to where he's living and spend time at his house, because he's got a whole family and cats. So that would be definitely something to look forward to. In all the time I've been in Kentucky, I think he's the only one, definitely from outside of Kentucky, who's visited me. My brother sent me a message once saying, I'll be, in your neck of the woods, blah, 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 on Monday. And, I could come out there, that sort of thing. And then when Monday rolled around, it's like, oh, me and Amanda got to get back home, do this other thing. And, so it didn't work out. But my brother was almost here. But that's, shortly after that is when I went to go visit my whole family down in Florida. So that all worked out. That was much better anyway. There's nothing here to see. It's more exciting stuff in Florida anyway. All right, so we got people talking. Let's see. Okay. Until super chats are enabled, you can support Peter here. PayPal.com, PayPal me, Peter Palmiotti. This is true. Yeah, I'm inching closer to super chats. Man, I'm so close. I think I'm at 883. It's pretty awesome. Call me Burns. Sideburns. Hello, Burns. So, what are you guys working on? Sort of, Sideburns been busy streaming. Tarako Cast was Monday. Was that the one with circling? Everything's flying by, and I watch too much or listen to while I work. Streams, everywhere. Streams. But yeah, I'm gonna have a busy night once I'm done with this stream. Already getting hungry. Stuff to do, places to go. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll have 2 less cats tomorrow. So tomorrow night I can catch my breath a little. There's other work I gotta get on and get finished. Got a graphic novel I'm working on and covers I'm doing for anthology and more art to make myself, and I gotta make progress on retro pages. I gotta start scanning them soon, so I gotta post them. I think I've been waiting to have a small batch before I start posting more, because then there'll be dead periods where I'll be working on the coloring. Yeah, once I'm done with the inking on as far as streaming goes, I might be working on another project when I stream, because I don't think I'll be able to color and stream at the same time with my crappy internet. So you just have to wait and see what's coming next. Not that I can't do anything. I can. It depends what I want to choose to do. And Frank says, "Yeah, Monday was Scott Coot. Yeah, it was a good show. Scott's a great guy. Scott Circlin, for those that don't know. So go to Tarako Creative Cast and check it out." Frank's I'm making some character cards I can print out at home and include with any mini comics I sell or give out. Cool. If anyone wants to support me, they can donate to my Ko-Fi. Ko-Fi.com/Salazar Nation Designs. Hey, I'm a glitch. I hope I'm pronouncing that even close. Welcome, sir. What are you up to? Oh, and I should mention, yeah, I subscribed to your channel recently, but you haven't done any videos. Are you planning to do any new videos coming up? There's another fellow artist. Let's see. Close enough. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm not picky with the way people pronounce my name. My last name specifically. I mean, my first name's pretty easy, but All right. But yeah, I mean, I mentioned Shelby Robinson was on the show the other day, and really, uh, it was thanks to him. I happened to catch his stream earlier that day before he came onto my channel, and even before I said anything in the chat, he was talking about coming on my show and getting people to subscribe to my channel. So thanks to him alone, I got like at least 10 new subscribers. So that's the kind of press I need. If anybody here has shows or social where they could share out my previous videos or current stream, it's definitely appreciated. So thank you, Shelby Robinson. You are the man. Uh-oh. Anna should be streaming for a few minutes tonight. Maybe we can finally get her to 100 subs long enough for it to stick. I hope so, dude. Yeah, Anna's too talented. And she should join all of us and stream. I'm sure she could fit it in. I have tons of videos, but I hate doing the editing. Yeah, well, I kind of have problems with editing myself, and this is why I stream. Just subbed. Cool. Don't forget, peeps, to throw a like on this video. Absolutely. Appreciate that too. Every little bit helps. Everything helps get my videos seen to those that aren't subscribed across the YouTube. And he says, thanks, Salazar Nation. Absolutely. Every little bit helps. So yeah, again, this is page 18. And I think I have two, maybe three more pages where it's sort of this style. Because the last batch, the penciler did it with a separation of too many years. So, which is entirely my fault. He did the first batch of pages back in 2009, and the last batch of pages for this book, 2019 to 2020, something like that. So his style altered, but it's still him and his work. But I think I'm going to have to work on my approach for the last bits of pages. It should be 8 pages. The last 8 pages. Yeah, I'm going to have to alter my style because he altered his pencils. It might be a lot more feathering. Depends how I approach it. I'll have to give it some thought. This inking thing, it's not mindless. Some people would have you think there's work that goes into the work. Boom, boom, boom. But definitely happy with how this book is turning out thus far. Still plenty of work ahead of me, even though I'm past the halfway point of inks. Soon enough. Well, it's like I hate predicting when I'm going to finish something because everything, my schedule changes because of outside work as well. And now I'm like working at the cat sanctuary. So I've been wrong more often than not, but I can't possibly see not finishing the inks next month. And that will definitely call for a celebration. Frank says, I threw 3 likes. Page looks good so far. Thank you. I installed a screen recorder so I could work on digital and make a video around it. It's a little tricky because it's meant for YouTubers that show 2 screens. I just want to show the art. I know, like, this OBS is amazing with what you can do with OBS. But as soon as I thought I mastered it, they updated it or something, and I completely lost the ability to do anything with it. So I just gave up on it. But I will look at some point going back to it, because even if you're just recording videos and using OBS at the same time, you could do some amazing stuff. If anybody watches Twitch, watch how Twitch artists or even the gamers, like how they set up their screens. You could do some really, really fun stuff. Computer, we all know it's just tracing. Just kidding. Yep. I'm not an inker, I'm a tracer. Peter is very good at tracing. But yeah, when I get around to coloring, there's a lot of little stray lines, and I'm tempted to use some of them lines that are sketchy, but I'm holding back. It's like, no, it works how it is, and I could finish it off with coloring. To me, like, the page needs to work in black and white, and it works in black and white as it, obviously this page isn't fully inked, but little parts of it is. But yeah, I don't want to go too heavy on inks sometimes. because sometimes it just needs separation of color. Will do the work. You don't have to connect all the lines or feather everything or corsage everything. Although, there's a ton of detail in this book. And that's my approach to things. Although we'll see what my penciling style is. I'm gonna be working on it. I'm gonna be drawing a lot more now and really focusing on what I like that I do and what I hate and what I need to improve on and all that jazz. Um, I know I'm competent, but it's a whole other thing to sit down and draw a whole comic. And while I've drawn pages, I never actually finished a book. I finished shorts. Well, I did, pages here and there, but never cover to cover a full issue of pencils. So definitely be taking my time, and that's going to be the focus of me next year, is working on issue 2 pencils. Well, working on issue 2 period of Retro. I got some other books to focus on getting out as well. But yeah, I'll be focused on making it the best I can. All right, let's see. I just bought a light pen, so I'm gonna trace it too. A light pad, as in a light box, or a pad that's light? I think you mean light box. They got some. I had a big bulky one back in the day, but I barely used it. Just for some technical stuff. Like we used to before computer coloring. Anything that was, what do you call it? A color hold. So for me, working on issue 10 of Aquaman, written by Peter David, Jim Cavalry, penciler, guest starred Green Lantern. Everything out of Green Lantern's ring was a color hold, and there wasn't, the best way to do the separations was to ink the images separately. So I had to ink all that stuff on vellum, and there was nothing more a pain in the ass to do. Because it was, the vellum's only so thick, and so like the vellum would be curling as I inked more and more on it. So I definitely didn't fill in the color until at the last minute. I tried just to do the outlines of everything. But thank God for computers. You could do that stuff just by separating it with the computer. Sideburns, otherwise known as just burns, I use Streamlabs OBS, and that's how I can make it look custom. Right. Yeah, it's like I've heard the word Streamlabs many times, and I was like, "What's Streamlabs? What's Streamlabs?" I know OBS. I didn't know it was the same thing, but yeah. Sideburns, I watch your streams, and yeah, you could do little tricks with it, much like the peoples on Twitch, and even some people on YouTube. I see definitely using OBS. I'm a glitch. I totally came around. Good ink is bringing a lot to the work. It all depends on the pencils. If the pencils are tight versus loose. Absolutely. Yeah, I knew you were kidding around. No worries. Um, and yeah, I worked on tight pencils, and Rich, you could tell like all the pencils is there. Um, I'm altering some things, but that's stylistic choices. But I'm trying to keep true to the pencil he's put down. Um, mostly of what I'm altering is just more because I didn't have 100% character design for him to go by, but it's all worked out. Frank says, "Yeah, Lightbox, but it's thin, so I just call it a pad." Okay, didn't know if it was a new term. Lightbox, Lightpad. Is all this ink with a brush? Damn, that's talent. Thanks. Well, everything on this page, except for like the straight lines, which were I did with a technical pen, and his belt right here. Well, no, I did. I did actually do that with a brush. Yeah, everything else is a brush. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. I was watching a documentary called Chasing Amy, and one of the guys said, "Inkers, are traces." That's right. I want my name to be simple. Laugh. Burns. When I think of Burns, I think of the what is it? Homer Simpson's boss. Outcast. Well, welcome. I don't know if you've been here before, but welcome. Subscribe if you haven't. Give the video a like. All that jazz. I'll just call you RNs. That's funny. Classic. What? Monty Burns. There you go, Monty. Excellent. Hi, Outcast. Oh, I get it. Hello. Yeah. I was going to jet, but since this is slightly more people now, I'll stick around for just a little bit longer. Man, I woke up this morning, and it's normally I don't like to sleep with AC running, so I didn't have it on. And it's like the heat and the humidity are increasing. It's becoming more and more summertime. And I woke up and it was just like I just felt the humidity in the air. And the first thing I did was turn on the AC. And it's not necessary to be on all the time. Um, I do have fans, like small little fans somewhere. Um, but when it comes to working on pages, because humidity is a factor, it changes the quality of the paper. Um, I definitely have AC on rather than fans. That's what you have to realize when working traditionally. Like that's definitely when a page gets too much humidity, the ink gets soaked into the paper, and the quality of the work you're putting down lessens drastically. I I used to have an apartment where I didn't have AC. I was pretty much broke or at the time or whatever, and but trying to work on pages. I had to work early in the morning or late at night. I had to cut out working during the day, so I slept during the day. It really affected my whole thing. Let's see. Outcast says, I'm doing a mini documentary series and I'm asking people what makes them happy and how do they get through struggles in life. Ah, very cool. Um, so you're a film guy. That's awesome. I love movies. I love documentaries. Um, I'm less, political documentaries, not really. Um, but I watched The Last Dance, and I'm not really a sports guy either, but I love the message behind The Last Dance, and Jordan really mastering his craft, which is basketball. Uh, Amongst a lot of other stories in there and noise. Um, but let's see. What makes them happy? Well, you coming here to somebody who's working on their own comic. This makes me happy. To not only create my own story and characters and images, um, but knowing that there are comic fans everywhere that would appreciate a quality piece of work. So that's what makes me happy. Really, like if my life said anything, it is definitely that. And how do they get through struggles in life? Well, man, um, these last couple of years have definitely been a struggle for everybody globally. Um, and even though there have been advantages to this sort of work and home life, because that's essentially my existence anyway. Um, it has definitely also been a challenge and scary at times. So what helps me through it? Uh, well, friends and family definitely. Um, and honestly, going going and doing what I love and focusing on that, like being productive in something I love, drowned out, sort of the panic in the air of the pandemic and all that. But it's also, like exercise helps. I got a bicycle recently. If I'm feeling stressed, I do some not calisthenics. What am I thinking of? Where I'm just burning energy. Just simple non. Um, non what am I thinking of? I don't have gym stuff in my house. So anything I do just with my body, forgetting the words, but you know what I mean. Um, so that kind of stuff really helps. As well as just, I am, like I said, a big movie fan. Just watching movies, reading comics, reading novels, hanging out with friends. We got the 4th of July coming up. Just having a barbecue outside, going out, hiking in the woods, that kind of stuff. Hope that helps. Aerobics. Yeah, I saw your comment down there. So Frank says, Javier Hernandez did an interview on an Outcast as he talked about how they had to use different plates and stuff just to print a comic back in the day, so I'm glad I don't have to do that. Yes. Yeah. If the whole 4-color process was very different before computers. A lot more work, a lot more physical skills necessary. It's computers has helped in many ways. For the independent comic creators out there. The fact that they can just make a comic, put it on the computer, color it, letter it. It's freaking amazing. Get it published all one dealio. Frank says, sounds cool, Outcast. Omer Glitch, comics make me happy. Also watching and supporting indie comics creator. That's awesome. That's all I want to hear from everybody. Watching and supporting indie comic creators. That's gold right there. Wait, what happened a couple of years ago? Oh, the whole global thing. To me, it's been years. Same for me, making comics, art, and sharing with people. That makes me happy. You do cybernetics. Oh, cybernetics. Yes. Not cybernetics. Calisthenics. What am I thinking of? I don't know. There's another word for it. Look it up on YouTube. Google it. That's how sporty I am. It's like most of my life, I've been fortunate enough to have a high metabolism, as well as like I'm a real walker. Except now I'm living in a small town in Kentucky, and there's not a lot of places to walk that are interesting, at least nearby. So I've gotten into the bad habit of walking less. But that's why I got the bike now, so I could walk when I choose to. I could bike when I choose to. Do aerobics or what have you at home. And on my list is There is a gym nearby that I looked into the cost of it and all that, and it's not that expensive. I'll be joining that. So all the the weight I've gained in the last couple of years, um, I can finally rid myself of, because I've been mostly the same weight I was. It was either high school or definitely by college. Like, I've been mostly around 180 most of my life, and now I'm above 200. So that's not cool. We're gonna have to get rid of that extra fat. I don't want to be one of those typical Americans. I may not play sports, but I like having at least the semblance of a athletic body. I used to be a big swimmer, but there's like there's a pool, a public pool at a park, which is the park is walking distance from here. But it's kind of a boring park. It's just a straight line with roads going through it. Um, and yeah, the public park, it's like, I don't want to go to a public park. Um, but there is a lake outside of town, so uh, my my best friend who has a car, I don't, said she wants to go to the lake more this year. So it's another way to get exercise that I love. Love swimming. I'm originally from New York, specifically Brooklyn, and I had an apartment for a good 9 years on at Sheepshead Bay. If you don't know Sheepshead Bay, you probably heard of Coney Island. Well, Coney Island to me was walking distance from Sheepshead Bay. It's like a half hour, something like that walk. And I used to go to, I used to swim Coney Island a lot, especially during the summer. I was never crazy enough. Like the locals around there are mostly Russian, specifically Brighton Beach, which is right next door to Coney Island. Um, and they used to swim there in the middle of winter, and I'm like, nope, that's not me. I like my water to be warm, sometimes even hot. And Outcast says that that's awesome, man. I hope you keep going on your dreams, and I can't wait to see your creation. I hope you get insanely popular where we are, and thank you for taking the time out of your day. Oh, my pleasure, man. My pleasure, and good luck with your project. Good luck with your documentary. I hope I'll track you down on YouTube and see what you got, and look forward to seeing you put that together. And who we got here? Global Frequency Studios. Hi, Peter. Just popping in to say hi. Well, hello, sir. What are you up to today? You got somebody on tonight? You can pimp it here. I think it is calisthenics. I was thinking Dianetics. Very different. Oh yeah, that's only for queer people. I read Dianetics, even though it's like for a brief moment I considered doing it, but it's not my culture. I hope you one day get to ink Aquaman for DC. Me too, man. Me too. I've been wishing. You know, I think the character is becoming popular because they're doing a second movie. So chances are better every day. So anybody that's watching that has streams or videos coming up that you want to promote, please feel free to drop it in the chat and let everybody know what you're up to. Because I am all about helping other people plug their stuff, definitely. Sideburns, Frank, uh, Global Frequency, which is Nefarious, otherwise known as Aaron. Or I assume it's Aaron. Who knows? There's 3 people involved over there. I know, and then they're zooming towards their Indiegogo release, and got a lot to do to get that accomplished for their book Mavericks. And I definitely want to help them promote that when it goes live, and definitely have them on my channel once it is live. It's looking freaking amazing. It's almost like a painted comic, and it is. I mean, it's digitally painted. I mean, it's all Garrett, and Garrett's doing an amazing job with the art. So if you don't already follow Global Frequency Studios, type that in on YouTube, and you can find their YouTube page. They do need a. They always have a party going on when they do streams. There's 3 of them, and there's a whole crew of people chatting in the live chat. But they do need to increase their followers on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. They're all over the place. Considering how new they are, they have a decent following, but I want to encourage people, go there, subscribe, check out their videos, check out their tweets, their Instagram feed. They show off pages to the book coming up. And of course, Anna might be streaming tonight. If she does it, I'll be there too. Sub to Anna Rob. And there's the link. And Frank also says we stream weekly on the Taraco Creative Cast on Mondays. So you can check out his show on Mondays. Yep. Frank has a wide range of guests on. You can know he's had me. I think he had that guy Burns. Bunch of other people. Scott Circlin this past Monday. We're all part of the same tribe here. We're all creators, learning from each other, growing, changing, evolving. So yeah, there's more work done on this page. I went much longer than I thought I would, but had a good amount of people show up. Those in the chat and those just watching, they call lurkers, but I appreciate each and every one of you. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Like the video. Become a patron if you want to support me further. But yeah, I'm trying to stream every day. I say trying because, my schedule and life and all that. But I got an art challenge I'm creating myself that I'll be doing coming up soon. And yeah, lots of good things. Lots of good things. And next month we're going to be finishing the inks of this issue, and then it will be on to coloring and all that stuff. And hail the chat. And thank you all for coming. Go check out Amberglitch's channel as well as Salazar Nation and Sideburns and Global Frequency. Who else chatted in here? And Outcast? What was it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I totally passed his post. Yeah, Outcast. But yeah, thank you, everybody. I'm going to call it a night. So